everybody, and welcome back to the channel. It's time for some Saturday morning React-TOONS, friends. Today we're watching Robotech, episode 52, Long Song. Is that it? It is. It's Long Song. Everybody, if you could do me a favor before we get started, hit that like button, smash that subscribe, ring that bell for notifications. It greatly helps out a small channel, and it allows me to alert you next time we go live with Robotech or any of our Saturday morning React-TOONS. And of course, if there's anything that we do that you would like early or in its full-length format, the link to our Patreon is in the description. But my dear friends, all that's then. This is now, and now it's time to watch Robotech, the Master's Saga, episode 52, Long Song. Prepare to engage maximum warp reaction. And away we go! Fanfare! I'm rolling my eyes with you. Just know that. Not once have I thought that's cool. Like someone took a poll. One of you fuckers took a poll out there. It was like, thumbs up if you want him to keep struggling with the fanfare. Thumbs down if we want to give him, or thumbs up if we want to give him the break. I actually appreciate that. I thought that was really funny. And I'm going to do it no matter what. I appreciate you trying to get me off the hook, but I have planned to do it because, to be quite honest, there's something I want to do at the end of all of this that necessitates me fanfaring for the entirety of Robotech. No more talks of fanfare. Can't bring more attention to it. Let's see what shenanigans are afoot.
In a surprise move, Supreme Commander Leonard chose Chief of Staff Rolf Emerson to lead the second offensive against the enemy.
Was it really a surprise?
The staging area hums with activity as the second assault wave makes ready for its hazardous date with destiny.
That's always good. A date with destiny. A date with destiny is never a phrase that's uttered whenever good shit's about to happen.
Sir, allow me to commend you on appointing General Emerson to the command. What better way to keep him out of our hair?
And the traitors to follow him.
I mean, oh boy.
Lieutenant Brown, we've heard enough out of you.
But it's a suicide mission, sir. They're trying to get rid of you.
The Chief of Staff is perfectly aware of the politics involved in the appointment.
I mean, it's either that or treason.
Gentlemen, it is not our place to question the manner in which the Supreme Commander arrives at his decisions.
I like that little beat before decisions.
Command will be a suicide mission. So watch your tongue, Lieutenant. Now leave me in peace.
Yeah, you can't go into it, you know, with the understanding it's just, you got to fight with everything you got.
Huh? Oh, come on. Chief of Staff Emerson's your godfather, after all.
Oh, that. I hate to disappoint you, Lieutenant, but I really hadn't given it much thought.
Come on, Bowie.
All my files show him to be A-OK.
Good.
Nova.
Huh?
Are you still wondering about the purpose of our little investigation?
Is that Fredericks?
It means there's a leak someplace, and our job is to find that leak and plug it up. Do I make myself clear?
You okay there, Zorro, buddy? Hi there.
I'm not going to even acknowledge you, Angelo. Like, Zor isn't like their suspect one at the GMP.
Lieutenant? Now wait a minute.
When are you going to grow up and stop playing detective?
I mean...
You must have better things to do.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm attempting to save the day, but you are prolonging this terror.
Hey, what?
Yes?
Lieutenant, I want you to do a favor for me.
Well,
Hurry,
sir,
come on.
I don't know. No, not so rough. All right.
Can you smell this fart? I just let it in this meeting. I'm uncertain as to its potency.
If I'm not mistaken, this Zor person is part of the 15th Squadron. For all we know, that might be where the leaks are originating from.
Yeah.
So it's Nova, huh?
I've been assigned to the second offensive, you see.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Chances are you won't make it back. You wanted to at least know you exist before you go.
Jesus. Dana, you're likely gonna die.
There's living proof, Captain. If that jerk can get a girl, believe me, anybody can.
That jerk can get, apparently, a lot of girls.
We've got some matchmaking to do.
Yeah, you're gonna get along splendidly.
All I can say, sir, is that we'd better finish it tomorrow. The fleet's scheduled to take off in 48 hours.
I guess we have no choice then. Good night.
Well, she has the report that Zor brought, so...
Aha!
So is she going to think these are from Zor?
Zor left this for you. Isn't it classified?
It's all right.
We're not going to pay attention to it.
Oh, no. What have I done?
You've given vital intel to the enemy. No biggie.
Of course not. You can have my seat.
But Nova, I want to talk with you.
If you don't mind, I have quite a bit of work to do.
Nova, stop. Wait a minute.
I would like to pick your brain for reasons.
But I think Nova has bigger things on her mind now, like the admirer who sent her those flowers last night.
Yeah?
That's not it.
By giving Zor that file to read, I broke every security restriction in the book. How could I have been so foolish?
I don't know, since you're GMP.
Because of your incredible incompetence, Lieutenant Brown has been labeled a bad security risk.
It seems there was a mix-up in the personnel files. But it looks as though someone else's personal history data was input into the lieutenant's file, sir. I apologize.
I'm afraid it's far too late for apologies.
Uh-oh.
I'll immediately run a complete reappraisal of all the files.
Lieutenant Brown's already been dismissed from the operation.
Yikes.
In fact, perhaps I should thank you.
Oh, you can't be serious. You're one of the best pilots the Southern Cross has got.
Probably saved his life.
Did you ever notice that almost all the officers appointed to this mission, beginning with General Emerson, are those who most consistently oppose the Supreme Commander?
Oh, wow.
The emperors of Rome had a way of eliminating their opposition by appointing them to be governors of distant provinces. Supreme Commander Leonard's learned from history.
That was cool. That was actually really cool. The Roman reference is very interesting and well used.
I think I'll wear it and knock his socks off. I'll pick up my other clothes tomorrow, if that's all right.
Of course, ma'am.
If he's got socks on, he won't for long. Hello.
There's something about people happily in love that just makes me want to scream sometimes.
We haven't noticed, Dana.
Late that night, the routine stillness.
I like the keys lighting up.
He's troubled by thoughts he cannot bring himself to express. Thoughts of Musica, of his godfather Rolf Emerson, and the perilous mission he's about to undertake.
Emerson's sleeping in his car.
Well, that's enough. You can take me back.
Yes, sir.
Did he just come listen to the piano? That's awesome. I'm assuming that's what he was doing. Could hear it. Show is so good. It's really good.
Good night, Nova.
Oh my God, does she like literally live like... Huh? Oh, that's her locker. Okay.
Depot 7 at 2100. It must be Zor.
No question about the how they got into your locker.
If Prince Charming doesn't get here soon with a carriage, Cinderella's gonna be left with nothing but cab fare.
It's a great line. There you are, Sean.
Sean, I don't believe it. It is you.
It's Jill, isn't it?
You know it is. Well, isn't this a lovely, lovely surprise?
It's...
Your famous last words 2 years ago. You got up from the table, said, "I'll call you, Jill," and I never heard from you again, you bum.
Well...
I'll call you, I swear.
Now, why don't I believe you, Sean? I'm certain my great lover would never lie to me.
Jesus! Marie gets to see and hear this, I'm assuming. My great lover. Oh my God.
Sean! Lover, is this a friend of yours?
Stop with the lover stuff. Marie just comes down and snaps her neck.
But you haven't lost your touch, lover. I just love it when you hold me.
She's playing fast and loose with that lover, isn't she? Really? That was kind of a baller move. You know what I mean? Shut old Jill up pretty quick. Smack. I knew that was coming. Yeah, baby. Very Cinderella.
Come on, she's waiting for you. Don't be silly. Go on.
You sure?
This is going to be bow liquefyingly awkward.
Nova?
What?
Listen, Zor, keep your nose out of my business.
Zor?
Lieutenant Satori, what are you talking about?
My gosh, Captain Komodo!
Zor, huh? Now I get it.
I mean, is your eyesight that bad?
Nova! I've got to...
Boy, does she have a bee in her bonnet. Whoa. Right.
Right. High-speed chase? Sure, I was just on my way back to the barracks to take a dump, but cool.
I knew what Sean was like. Did I really think he'd change just for me?
Now, Maria, I like that. Don't be upset by it, though. You're too tough for that. Mild.
This is Lieutenant Satori of the GMP. You and the Jeep pull over.
Seatbelt fastened?
Wow. We're hoping, or otherwise everybody's dead. All right, everybody. Did we get this out of our system?
It'd sure be bad for morale if we let them find the hero of the Air Corps looking like this.
Is he going to get behind the wheel?
But Lieutenant Brown...
It's simple. A frustrated flight lieutenant who was bumped from the 2nd Offensive got his hands on a Jeep and a bottle of whiskey and went on a rampage.
Look at this guy.
But Lieutenant, it means the brig.
A couple of days, thanks to them. I've got nothing better to do with my time,
Lieutenant Brown, I like you, buddy. Everybody's looking for somebody. Lieutenant Brown seems to be a stand-up guy.
Triumviroid, eh?
Yes, my lord, the Triumviroid, a self-contained device which is...
Triumviroid?
A weapon that performs as perfectly as we ourselves. We no longer must depend on bioroid clones such as Zor Prime.
Really, the Triumviroid is going to replace everything else with the clone still? I find that very hard to believe.
Captain? Nova! I, just wanted to say, come back safely.
Boy, oh boy. Don't worry, I will.
Oh.
Marie! Marie, come back! Be a man, for heaven's sake. She's got more important things on her mind, stupid.
Yeah, Angie's right. Like this. Like this. Send him off with a song. Cool episode. Cool. Oh, I like that ending. Very cool with everybody in profile. All right, everybody, we just got done watching Robotech, episode 52, The Long Song, and the only thing left to do is talk about it. All right, everybody, we just watched Long Song, the 52nd episode of Robotech. I thought this one was really good. You know, they do a really good job of, see, these are the quiet moments that I like, you know, the pregnant pauses before a battle, and we tried to get like a lot of relationship stuff done in here, which I really quite like. And start with the lead off one, you know, the Marie-Sean thing. I don't know if I want that to work or I don't want that to work, because while I like both of the characters, I'm not necessarily sure I would like them together, because I think somebody gets compromised if they get together. We've seen that before in the past. Most notably with Rickhead and Lisa Hayes, not to harken all the way back to Macross. But, you know, it's usually at the detriment of somebody else. If Robotech and, like, you know, basically the dialogue provided by the creatives of Robotech, as opposed to, I've never heard Macross, I've never heard Southern Cross, so I don't know exactly what how these exchanges translate to the original properties, so I can't speak intelligently on that. But with this one, I think that we have too much of kind of like a pattern of when people get together, there is going to be some type of alteration, more so in one of them than the other. And honestly, that could be said about any relationship in any show you've ever seen. So it's not like it's unique unto Robotech. I'm just saying that I really like Marie and I really like Sean. Marie and Sean and Marie, I'm not sure works, because we've already seen that Marie is willing to make, like, not necessarily like dressing up. That's certainly not, you know, changing who she is or anything like that. But, you know, she's warmed up considerably. But again, you know, in so doing, she allowed herself to open up and she got hurt. Now, it was inadvertent. It wasn't Sean's present that caused him the problems. It was most notably and most definitely his past. And so, you know, that hound dog type of that we always talk about, and he was kind of identified initially, how he's in the brig because of being a hound dog. He was bumped all the way down to private, you know, because of being a hound dog. Sean's a hound dog. And that's not a bad thing for the character. You know what I mean? It's a bad thing for him personally, for his relationships, because he's not going to have anything lasting or anything like that. If that's what he wants, it might be a perfect setup for him. But you know, I like Sean being the way that he is. I sort of like that flirtatious stuff that he and Marie were doing. You know, that baller move where he caught her Veritech when it was coming down was super duper cool. You know, but I do like her character. Her character's independence and strength is very important, I think, to the show. And honestly, to me as a viewer, I like her character kind of in charge, leading things. You know, she has kind of like a weird, I kind of like go off into a Battlestar Galactica type of thing. She's a cool mixture of like Ty, the XO, and Starbuck, you know, a great pilot, and then like a really kind of gruff, like ranking officer. I appreciate that type of attitude, and I'm glad they didn't kind of dilute that. They kept her tough. And I think that's what Marie's strength is. Marie's strength is being tough. Not tough for tough's sake. She's tough. Why is she tough? She has to be. She's faced with death on the regular here. She can't let her guard down. And you know, it's almost like you know, you don't want the compromise that's coming between for a Sean and Marie relationship to work that would make her less effective for herself, you know, or you know, when she's like you doing personal kind of like self, you know, evaluation, she doesn't want to see, oh, you know, ever since I got on with Sean, I've been, you know, I made some mistakes, or and that's sort of like what they kind of hint at. You know, Marie acts differently. You know, I mean, driving off like that, you know, that's not what Marie would have done. You know, the potential for her to have been in like pretty big trouble and most definitely been taken off of the second assault, you know, if she had been caught. But Lieutenant Brown, my man, that guy, where did he come from, right? Really cool character, really cool, you know, definitely somebody that's sympathetic and a believer in what Rolf Emerson, the General Emerson, is talking about in terms of Leonard and the Supreme Commander. I like that a lot. And boy, oh boy, what a cool use of Roman history in that little moment. You know, how the Romans knew how to do it. When they had a rival, they would send him off to be the governor of a far province. That's absolutely correct. Also, if you had a military leader that was kind of up and coming, you know, you would send them off to war in the hopes that by the time they got back, any type of, you know, rah, you know, or potential like political or power move would be kind of diluted a little bit, you know. That was the Roman was just like, get away. If you're away from Rome, you're not bothering me. You know, if you're away from the power base, then you can't be a base of power. Get away, get away. But what a cool use of that, you know. And obviously, you know, the idea that not only did, you know, obviously Emerson knows this. Emerson's staff knows this. Hey, you know, they're going to kill you, dude. You know, this is a suicide run that you're on. Emerson knows this, you know, but I really enjoyed too, Emerson, like, you know, stop this shit talking about a suicide mission. We can't get into that mindset. Do we know it looks really bad? Absolutely. We can't speak on this. If there's to be any chance, any hope, any idea, we have to be razor focused and sharp as shit on this one, because it's going to take crackerjack timing for us to make sure that we can, you know, give ourselves the best chance and not end up like everybody else that's gone up against these sons of bitches. So I like that, you know, just you know, lock that shit up, man. We can't have that type of talk. Really cool moments by a lot of the characters in this one, like with Emerson driving and having the window down and sitting there and just listening, eyes closed, listening to Bowie play the piano. That's really cool. And you know what, the coolest thing about that to me is Emerson's closed off. He's been closed off. A lot of his kind of like revelations or revelatory information has come within internal monologue type of thing, you know, or by himself or talking with his staff. It's not necessarily been, you know, in kind of a heartfelt opening up to Bowie in particular is who I'm thinking of. Like, he would go there to hear Bowie's music, but he wouldn't go talk to him. You know what I mean? But to me, that seems like way more Emerson to do that. You know, not actually have any type of like meaningful heart to heart moment with Bowie. Bowie probably didn't even know he was there. I'm sure he didn't know he was there, but he still, you know, wanted to hear and wanted to experience that. It's really kind of a closed off, but very realistic way of handling these things. And so to me, it adds more depth to the character, more realism to the character, more reasons to like these characters because they're flawed, because they're, being fleshed out, and the writers and creatives are really doing their damnedest to give us these very kind of photorealistic, obviously this is a cartoon, and obviously, there's fantastical elements throughout the entire thing. But the creatives in this version, in Southern Cross, I think much, much farther than, or way more developed than in Macross. We are actually seeing these creatives say, okay, these are real people. We want that photorealism. We want you to see these people for who they are. We're going to give them personalities. They're going to stick to these personalities. They're going to be distinct. You're going to notice when they kind of deviate from what we've established, from like Marie. You're going to be able to see evolution of characters like Angelo. Angelo's become like a prominent player in just the social aspect of everything. Now, I mean, he's figured Zor out. Like, he's like, listen, we really should be watching this guy. This is not, and they're like, how dare you? He's a member of the 15th. Well, Angie's on it. Angie has sussed this shit out. Like, he's absolutely ready to, like, at the end of Clue, tell you who did it, where they did it, and with what. Like, he's got it down, but he keeps getting like outranked. He gets like, ranked out of everything, all the conversations. Really great stuff though, so we've had just a real, I mean, we've actually had a lot more about Nova too. This is really the last episode or 2 or 3 had been very Nova heavy as far as like, hey, by the way, this character, but now we're going to really kind of get into her backstory, or not her backstory, her kind of like, her mindset, present day, things like that. Really cool stuff. Really interesting. It's just well done. It's well done, and it's recognized as being well done, and not something that has been kind of you can't see the stitching. You know what I mean? Everything is seamless. Everything seems to fit perfectly. And I think that is a hell of a testament to this show. Friends, if you could do me a favor, hit that like button, smash that subscribe, ring that bell for notifications. Greatly helps out a small channel, and it allows me to alert you next time we go live with Saturday morning React-TOONS. And of course, if there's anything that we do, Robotech included, that you would like early or in its full-length format, the link to our Patreon is in the description, my friends. But all that is then, and this is now, and now it's time to say goodbye. So where do we say goodbye from this episode? Well, I say we say goodbye from just outside of the lounge where Bowie is playing, and maybe we're on that hill where Zor was overlooking the first assault wave's kind of, mobilization, but we're sitting there and we're listening to Bowie play too. And just below us in the car is Emerson listening to his godson play. And for this moment, we just listen to that long song, and we think about the things that mean the most to us and get ready to fight, because that's what we do. We're the 15th. Friends, until we get a chance to watch this great show again together, Vulcan roll, and I'll see you.